guys, I'm going to give you my in-depth look at my craft room. I'm just going to show you, this is the front door of my house, and I know the lighting is bad. I haven't turned on any lights, just opened the windows. But this is where my husband plays PlayStation, watches TV. It's kind of like his man cave, and what it is it's, when we bought this house, this is kind of like the front living room and dining, and he wanted this room. I didn't relegate him to the smaller room. He said, I want this to be my man room. So that's what we did. I ended up with the bigger room. And the reason we did not turn the bigger room, which is my craft room, is the family room. The reason we did not really turn it into the family room is because we have older kids that I think prefer to be in their room. So we sort of just set up everybody's own space. Kids have their own space. We have our own space. So my room has sort of been a large work in progress. So you walk in, and this was the family room. And I've rearranged this room 10,000 times because the more crafts I start working on or learn how to do, the more things I need. And it's all crammed in here, but it is what it is. So I'm going to do an in-depth of where I store things. You know, maybe it'll give you some ideas of how to turn your family room into a office craft room. You see my cats. This is a never-ending thing with my cats on my table. They'll be knocking something down in a minute. I just made these valances so the windows would be open all the time so they could get in the windowsills, these two cats, because they were tearing up my curtains trying to get into the windows. So I don't know, that's bothersome. But anyway, okay, here we go. You walk in and I have my bookshelf. It's got all my planners on it. There's some photo albums and stuff on it, and of course books. And then just knickknacks. This is really, I for years and years did not have my own bookshelf. And one of the things I always wanted was my own shelves. I used to have tons and tons of books. I love to read. And through moves and what have you, I lost most of them. And some of them I've tried to replace by rebuying them. And some of them I haven't. But now, I guess, I'm going to kill this cat over here. I could, since this is a craft room, kind of get rid of the couch. But I don't, because it is still, you know, a family room. Although we don't use it as a family room, I like to sit here on the couch and have a cup of coffee in the mornings while the kids are getting ready for school. You know, what have you. I enjoy sitting on the couch. I would rather have something smaller, but this is what I have, and it's going to stay. So that's why I'm always rearranging, because I'm trying to find the best fit for this room, all my things, and a couch. So up here I have my, and though she be but little, she is fierce, my Shakespeare quote, one of my favorite quotes, and my banner. The quote I got from Hobby Lobby, and I believe I got the banner from Michael's. Now, I apologize if the lighting is not great. I can't really tell on camera. And of course, I am no professional, so trying not to be shaky. If it's horrible, I apologize. And just, if you're not interested, just move on. It's okay. And then I have my record player radio. I used to have one, and I had to live with my sister for a while, about 5 years ago, and moving from her house, I didn't have a lot of room, and I had to leave it, and so my husband was adamant I get another one, so he got me this one, because I have a collection. This was his antique record player cabinet that goes with our bedroom furniture, but we painted it. Actually my son painted it for me to go in my room, and I have inside of it a record collection that belonged to my mother. And of course we threw CDs in there. But this is my mother and my grandmother. You see that old book right there? That is old records that belong to my grandmother. So I kind of covet those records. Occasionally I do pull them out and listen to them. Reminds me of my childhood because my parents loved music and we're always listening to music. So I have the radio, record player, and I do that, listen to that more than I watch the TV that's in here. This cabinet is a family, I can't talk today, heirloom. It is an oriental painted chest. It is extremely old. It was in my great aunt's house. She inherited it from her uncle. No idea how old it is, but I imagine it's pretty old. And my brother moved into my great aunt's house when she passed away. And they didn't like this cabinet and they stuck it out on their porch. So being out in a weathered, it was a screened porch. Being out in the weather, I don't know if you can tell, but it has really ruined this hand painting on it. And I do not know how to fix that. So it is what it is. It looks old because it is old. And it doesn't match anything in my room. However, it is great for storage. And I'm not getting, I used to have family heirlooms that got, you know, given to other siblings because of my many moves I've had to make and things. And so I have not a lot left. And so I'm not getting rid of this, whether it matches or not. But I'll show you what I keep inside. Crafts. All right, my paper cutter, my laminator. I have ribbon, Mod Podge, sequins and things in these little jars right here. I used to display those, but I put them up when I brought my fall stuff out. Mailing supplies for mailing stuff out for my shop, some cardstock, the tripod for my camera, more mailing supplies, and then labels and laminating paper over here, and a hole puncher. Just random, you know, stuff that everyone needs a place for. I have, this cabinet has these 4 drawers, and the only thing I keep in them is used scrapbook paper, like the scraps. And the reason I don't use these other drawers is because every time I put something in them, I forget where I put it. I don't remember that this cabinet has these 4 drawers. So that's the only thing that lives in there, and I hardly ever use the scrap paper because I forget it's there. So on top, I just have some candles. We have a, you know, Wi-Fi extender for upstairs. I have this, I think this is a jewelry hanger that I keep my planner charms that I buy or make on. And then I went antiquing and found this old radio, and I just thought it was too cute. So I have that. And then over here, I just have this little sign that I believe I got from probably Hobby Lobby. And I have a clock. And this clock actually was very, very cheap. I just bought it at Big Lots. It used to hang in my kitchen, but we changed the time on it and we couldn't get it back up on the wall. And my husband gave up, and I was like, you know, I'll just hang it in here. So that's where it went. And then we have our TV that we hardly ever watch. My husband hates to sit in here and watch anything on this TV. He doesn't like how high up it is over the fireplace. So really it just stays off unless I'm cross stitching, and then I like to turn it on, but I like to turn it on to things I've seen a million times so that I don't actually look at the TV. I just like the background noise. So I have movies, old movies on the DVR, like Titanic or something that I've seen 100 times. I'll turn that on. There's a dog toy under there. These boxes, these decorative boxes I have down here, one of them I keep computer CDs and stuff that from computer programs and things, and wires, you know, chargers and things in the little box. And then I just have some decorative florals. I made this yesterday. I found that bucket at an antique store, and I had these hydrangeas in another arrangement that I did not like. So I just took it apart, cut the flowers because they were really tall and just put them in there. And then I have some magazines in there. And then I have this cabinet right here. Now, it looks like an old-timey desk. And right, this cabinet right here, it looks like a, see if I can, an old-timey desk kind of thing. It's got these little shelves on the side, and this part lifts up like an old desk. I found this at a flea market. It had this hutch on top of it, 2 separate pieces. And me and my son, really my son, painted it up for me, put new knobs on these little drawers, and we used that way for quite a while. I don't know why this is not focusing. Why won't you focus? Well, when I rearranged, I wanted this over here, and the hutch would not fit with the fireplace. So I put it over my desk, and it works just fine. So basically, I use this as my printer stand. I have this little lamp I got at Hobby Lobby, a washi tape dispenser, and I made this with canvas and paper and decoupage. Or I decoupaged it. I used Mod Podge, or whatever it's called. My son always corrects me because I say it wrong. But this is my shop and social media logo that I created. And I just printed it out and printed out the backgrounds and basically put it on canvas. And of course, you know, I'm going to point out all my flaws. It bubbled up really bad. It's very hard to put big sheets of paper on there. But I actually thought it turned out pretty cool. It kind of looks like fabric, which is kind of cool. And then I have this deer up here that my daughter gave me. I think someone on her dad's side of the family actually killed that deer and then made that. But I wanted it for decor, so it was given to me for that. Then I have, I just put my binders, that's my camera thing. Binders I put right here. I have various binders, Etsy stuff in there. I homeschool my oldest son, so I have lesson plans and things. This is a binder I keep important family documents in so that they're easy to access when we need them. Being military, I'm always got to have the kids, you know, birth certificates and things right on hand. Our marriage certificate and things like that. It's very easy just to know right where it is. They're in sheet protectors in here, and I can grab them really easy instead of having to go dig through a file cabinet or something. And then I have just some journal cards that I put in some album pages in here because sometimes I like to use them as, you know, thank you notes and things. And then there is a binder here, I think it's this one, that has genealogy stuff in it. Another hobby I have is genealogy. My dream is to have something almost book-like to leave when I'm gone for my children so they know where they came from. But that's just one of my dreams that I'll maybe get done or not. Some of my business cards, and my computer, my planner, pens, you know, no biggie. And then in these drawers, I just keep paper for my printer. And there was photo paper, or not photo paper, but thicker paper in this drawer, like the really nice paper that I print things on sometimes. And also, I think some photo paper got put in here because my daughter was printing photos. Oh, things are gonna fall. Some letters I bought at Michael's for decor, and my silhouette cameo for cutting. It used to be out all the time and ready to go, but I don't cut my stickers out maybe like once a week. So I figured it could just stay right there, and when I'm ready to cut, I'll pull it down and plug it in, and hopefully that will be okay. And then up here I have this little chalk board I got at an antique shop, and this little handmade rabbit I also found. It's not an antique, but it was in a little, you know, crafts and antiques shop that I went to. And then over here, I just have an M. I got it. I think I got that at Michael's. And this wall decals. I honestly don't remember where I picked up that decal. Probably Michael's. If not, I think I got it at Michael's. And then down on the floor, I'll show you. My floors are the worst. I have to mail that out. Garbage can. I have a paper shredder and my camera equipment in that bag. And then I have these lovely, lovely drawers. I used to only have one, and I had to go back and get another. And in actuality, the one I had was clear drawers because I got them at Michael's. Michael's did not have the rainbow colored ones when I got the when I got my first one. So then they had the rainbow one, and then when they went on sale, I got a rainbow one, and then I just flipped out the drawers between them. So they're all color clear, color clear. So they, I don't know. I just liked all the colors. On top, I just have like an inbox. My kids come home with papers, and like I need to register this tempered glass we put on my son's phone, and stuff I need to do, clear that out. The kids know when they come home, if there's papers mom needs to see, it goes in there. And then I know this window behind is making the lighting horrible, and I apologize. I have this basket right here that when I make things that need to go up in my shop, I will put it in here to then take photos, and of course my scale to weigh things when I mail. And then I just have these empty buckets that I had stuff in, but right now I don't, so they're just empty. In my drawers, I keep, this is where all my supplies go. This is planner, like A5 planner things. This is personal size planner things, and Happy Planner and Erin Condren planner things. And then my hole punches and rulers and adhesive, things that I use pretty much on the weekly if I'm doing my planning. And then in here I have hot glue gun and glue. I need to stock up on glue. And in here I have glitter, and this is the fuser for, you know, I make shaker pages and things like that for my planners. And in here is all my other punches I have, you know, a crown punch, a flag punch, that's a tab punch to make tabs, a bow, little ones like that. That's all extra punches. And then in here I have embellishments and clips, things I use to either make clips, scissor fobs, you know, what have you. This little bag is full of the little, I'll show you, see if I can open it, little embellishments like this. Sometimes I use those on clips and things. So that is in, I'll zip that later. That is what's in there. And then this is all my personal clips that I've made and kept for myself. I make these for my planner, big clips. Some are in my shop, but these are mine that I made a long time ago that I used. I was trying my hand at making them with ribbon. That's coming off because I didn't hot glue it, but with ribbon instead of, these are made with scrapbook paper. They're just paper, so if you needed to flatten them, you know, you could. But they're double-sided so that if you have it in your planner, it doesn't matter which way you put it. I thought that was pretty cool. And then, you know, little clips I made myself, ribbons, see, you know, for my planner and stuff. Those are all my personal ones. And then this one's full. This has got fabric and things for these little cross-stitch bags that I make that will show you in a second. And then when I got the second one, when I started trying to redo my shop, and I wanted to keep a good stock of inventory, which I'm still working on. You'll see I have hardly anything in here. So this is the stock of inventory of the clips and bows that are on my shop to sell, and then a few stickers that are, of course, There's not many. Because I had a little snag with my paper, but that's a whole nother issue. Planner bands that, I mean, this is basically all inventory that's for sale and up in the shop. And then these are emptied. I just threw some sponge brushes that I did the decoupage with. And wire. Is that the only wire? Alright, and then in, let's see, I had a little snafu. My card got full, so I had to fix that. Anyway, basically in here I have just a few supplies that I had for making planner bands or whatever for my shop or for myself. And these are just supplies for making planner. I just tried my hand at making a planner charm with ribbon, and so that's what that was. And then some fake flowers and things for the little teacup thing on my fireplace that I made the other day. And then I just keep, this is my computer wire that hooks to my computer. I just keep it there, and my battery thing should be in there too. I'll put that up. And so all my supplies are basically organized there. Pretty handy to pick up. And then I have, come around here, I have this table. This was our old dining room table before we got a new one. And putting this in here is what made my room so full. Obviously, when you have a family room and then you go sticking a dining room table in it, makes it kind of difficult. But I'm not complaining because I have a sewing machine. And just a few months ago, I couldn't sew a stitch. I wouldn't have known how to touch a sewing machine. And I'm going to show you, tell you this little story if I haven't already. This bag right here, for all you cross stitchers, this is my favorite thing ever in the world. It is a, let's see, that window behind me. It is a pin cushion on the top, and then this little bag hangs and you fill your little orts in it. For sewers, stitchers, I mean, it works either way. And I keep it right here. I went to a cross stitch shop, found these in a shop, and there was a couple of them, and I asked if they were for sale. Well, they were not for sale. It was a quilt shop, and they were models for a pattern they were selling. And I told the ladies at the time, I said, I don't know how to sew. I wouldn't know where to begin. I don't know a pattern from a piece of paper. I mean, I just don't. And she said, oh, I assure you it's not hard. And I said, no, that's not something I want to attempt to do. But my sister knows how to sew, so I bought the pattern because I just had to have one of these. And I bought this fabric that I made this with and brought it home. Well, my sister lives 3 hours away. I never got her the pattern. I never got her the stuff. And I kept wanting it. And then I said, forget it. I'm going to figure it out myself. And that's what I made. My husband went and bought me a sewing machine. I pulled out the pattern and I taught myself how to do it. So this is where I sew now. I am in the process of working on this one. I've made my sister one actually since then. And I'm in the process of making one that I'm going to put up in the shop. So if anyone is interested, this little wolf pattern one will be up hopefully by the end of this week, if I have time to finish it. But I've already got the little pin cushion part made. Is that not the most adorable thing you've ever seen? I think it is. So over here, I sew. I have this, I keep all my really special clips on this little ribbon that I hung. Up here I have my coveted cross stitch from my mother. Oh, that my mother stitched is not from my mother. My mother made it, and my brother and sister basically stole it out of my father's house so that I could have it and brought it to me. And my planners, so when I do my planning and I need to spread out, this is, you know, obviously it's a nice space. And then this is just old planner stuff I'm trying to figure out how to keep somewhere, stuff I just need to put away. Scissors, a lamp, file cabinet. This file cabinet actually used to be obviously near my desk, and then I would file, you know, there's house it says home files. There's just home files in there. I'm actually trying to find a way to reduce our amount of paper that we have in this house. You know, everything's online now. Why do I have a file cabinet full of paper? I don't know. It would be really nice to use this for, you know, my sticker paper, photo paper, stickers that I've used. Like this is right here. This is my 2 binders full of stickers. I don't have a place to put them, so they're just sitting here right now. It would be lovely to be able to file them in here, but I just don't even know if that would be, you know, easily accessible. And then up here I keep all of my washi tape. Right here, 3 drawers. They're full. I need another one, but... And my favorite little pop thingies. My homemade curtains. This used to be one long curtain that just hung to the floor. I folded it in half this morning and sewed it together halfway, and then took ribbon and made it into a valance real quick because I was just tired of the cats tearing it up. This lamp I got at an antique store. The shade was nasty. It was just this plain shade, so it's crooked because the cats knocked it over. The cats knocked it over and broke off this little piece, which I still have. I just haven't glued it back together. And I made this shade. I know it's hard to see with the light behind me, but I just used ribbon, and I hot glued ribbon like this around it with little embellishments. That's all I did, just to dress it up. I thought it was really cute. This is my, this is my sewing area. This is my cross stitch area, my nice aught lamp that I got. I think this one came from Joann's when they had a sale. I know the lighting, you can't even hardly see it, but I like a floor one. I used to have a tabletop one. I prefer a floor one. My little dog's kennel. And I call this my spaceship chair. I found this chair. I wasn't going to buy it. It's so not my style until I realized that, I'm going to show you, well, obviously it has cup holders. It has a switch. It is electric. Look at that. And not only is it electric, it has a USB built in to charge your phone. So for cross stitchers, this is the dream cross stitch chair. It's comfortable. You can charge your phone while you're sitting there, and of course I always have to have it if you're facing the TV. And this is my dream chair. It's the best cross stitch chair ever in the world. And then inside of my cross stitch table, I know this looks horribly disorganized. This is the thread for my Celtic cross I'm working on. It was a kit. It came with all the thread here, but I ran out of a bunch of it. So then I just have these that I pulled out so that I could get it finished. And I didn't have anything to put it in, so right now it's just sitting loose. But inside here I have to have magnifying glasses. If I have my contacts in, I have to have magnifying glasses to see up close. If I take my contacts out, I'm perfectly fine. So, depends on the day. And then all the scissors, I have scissor fobs, and I have some needle minders. I love these little Mickey Mouse needle minders. I have a pink one, and I have a red one. They don't work that well, not like my little elephant here. And I have a Cinderella one. It's on a project somewhere, I do believe, though. Yeah, it's on my Sleeping Princess. And then this drawer has nothing in it, except the remote for the TV. And then down here, I just have old photo albums that's, they're in here because one day I'm going to go pull out, or try to pull out some of the old photos and scan them for my genealogy stuff. And I have an iron because when I'm making these bags, I have to have an iron to sew the seams, and it's just easier to have it sitting right here. And I know I showed y'all, but here are my boxes with some of my stitching projects in it. And I have recently moved this under the table. It fits right under this table. And this is basically it's scrapbook paper. Special papers. Yeah, that's gonna be in the way. I I labeled them. So it's in here by color. So when I'm looking for specific colors, I know which drawer to go in. I have every imaginable piece, and I don't even scrapbook. These are to make, I've made dividers for planners, those bow clips, you know, dashboards, shaker pages, whatever. That's what I use this for. I don't actually scrapbook, but I like to buy scrapbook paper because I love paper. So it's full. That's what this cabinet is. And it rolls, so I can move it around pretty easily. And this chair right here, I just have to say, I bought at a shop. It was an antique shop. I don't know if it's an antique, but it was really, really, really cheap. It's the only reason I bought it. Because I wanted a chair. You see my desk chair, which matches my couch pretty much. I wanted a chair that was similar in style, so at least it'd be a little cohesive. And that's why I bought this. It was like 20 bucks with the slip cover. But it was pretty obvious, if you take the slip cover off and look, that whoever owned it had cats, and the cats have clawed it, and you know, the pieces were hanging off, and so they had this slip cover on, which I washed, and, you know, whatever. Well, my cats now, if you can see, it was not like this. I don't know if you can see it, because I try to cut all the little snags off. But they attacked this chair like the chair is full of cats. So I'm wondering if it smells like cats somehow. But it was cheap, so it's not like I'm crying that the cats are tearing it up. But there's my two dogs, Cruiser and Prada. They just came in from outside. I always make them go in their kennel when they come in from outside because their feet are dirty, and I let them their feet dry off if it's morning and their feet are wet or whatever. Then they come out to play. So hi, Prada. Hi, Cruiser. Alright, so this is it. I lit my little tree up in between. My craft room. It suits me. It's a sort of a free-for-all in here for anything you want to do. And maybe it gave somebody some ideas of how to turn their family room into kind of a craft room, because technically, I mean, with the couch and everything, there is still plenty of room if we wanted to have a movie night or have whenever I have guests over, we come in here. So it is a family room still. It is still a family room, but it is also my room, so it's definitely decorated for me. And but I love it. It's where I like to be every day. You see my grill outside, that's funny. And that's it. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope maybe you got some ideas. If you have any questions, just ask. Any suggestions, suggest away. I love it when y'all give me suggestions. And I will see y'all next time.